Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be sowing seeds in my neglected 3.5 by 6.5 foot Vego Garden raised bed. I'm here in Central Florida, so I put together a planting plan that I kind of mapped out on the bed for you guys. That basically comes from the advice of the University of Florida and their planting calendar. I'll link it below in the description box. They have so many, they have such a great resource where you can tell exactly what plants you should be planting in whatever month of the year. So we're in October. I picked out a whole bunch of plants, and then what I did was I created a border around the bed full of pollinators and herbs. And so what that's going to do is the pollinators are going to bring in the bees, hopefully, and other positive beneficial insects. And then the herbs are so fragrant they're gonna deter the pests naturally. So hopefully I don't have to do too much like neem oil or BT or anything on these plants. I'm only about a year into gardening at all, so what I'm doing is planting a huge variety of plants. So you'll really only see like one square of each plant. And that's intentional. That's for me to figure out what plants work in my garden and in my area and don't have like terrible pests that I can't manage. And yeah, once I figure out the plants that work well, I can plant so much so that I can get abundance or something next year, or a better, plan better about how much my family eats. So let's take a look at the plan. I went ahead and put the seeds that I've prepped. I put them in I put them in a Ziploc bag with a wet paper towel last night, so that they'd kind of get a head start on germination. And nasturtium seeds are a little bit different. I just soaked them in water overnight. But primarily I use the paper towel method for helping the seeds get started. And I went ahead and labeled them. I noticed the last time I did this that it would have been so helpful. I kept going back and forth to my paper that had my plan, and so instead of doing that this time, I went ahead and just put my plant markers on the squares so that I could just look at it live and not have to go back and forth to my phone, even though I still kind of will to get the planting depth. So you'll see I've got the pollinator, the herb, the pollinator, the herb. We've got a variety. My pollinators that I'm using are nasturtiums, marigolds, borage, and zinnia. And then we've got a whole bunch of herbs. We've got thyme, parsley, cilantro, chives, dill, oregano over there. And then the bulk of the plants, like the main plants, are here in the middle, 2 rows. So I've got daikon radish, kohlrabi, spinach, shallots, mustards, cauliflower, collards, more shallots, Swiss chard, bok choy. So really excited about these plants. We'll see how they all do. Stay tuned and you can watch me sow the seeds, and at the end I'll wrap it up with a little bit of irrigation, just a little bit. We're gonna add probably 1 or 2 drip lines to my existing drip irrigation on this bed that I pulled off right now for the purpose of sowing the seeds. You can see it's laying on the ground. So I might walk you through that later. Stay tuned, subscribe to the channel if you like the content. So I finished sowing all the seeds. Took me a little while, and then I went ahead and put the drip irrigation back on top, and I want to show you that real quick, and then I'm going to turn it on and give these seeds a nice soak. So I actually put this system in a long time ago for a different setup with the plants, and so what I did was I just kind of added some 1/4 inch drip line with these are 0.5 GPH emitters spaced every 6 inches. I just went ahead and added some to fill in the gaps that I had in the system. And what this does is it just does a really slow, deep watering, which is more beneficial than spraying the foliage. If you spray the foliage of a plant, you'll just create this environment that really is conducive to like fungus and lots of other diseases. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this on, and you can see how it works. I've got this controller over here on my outdoor spigot. I'm going to do water now for, let's do 30 minutes, give it a good watering. And then I think it should, yep, there we go. You can hear it started. And we'll come over here and I'll show you what it looks like. It's very slow. And it drips right down into the soil. See, maybe I can point out some that are sitting up on top, like these emitters. You see that little drip coming down? So hopefully, I'm not really sure if this watering system is gonna work that well, because in the past what I've done is try to get an emitter at each plant, and there's way too many plants in here to do that. So I'm trying to just mess with the watering time and see if I can do it that way. So we'll see. If you want to follow along and see the plant growth progress over the next few weeks or months, follow me on Instagram, Space Coast Harvest. Have a good one, guys.